Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Hey, what's going on, family? This is Tyler from No Picks Podcast.
What's up, fam? This is Joe, No Picks Podcast.
Hey, Joe, check this out. I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not. This was on the news within the past maybe week and a half. But basically, there's a guy. His name is Justin Robertson, and he was shot by DC police about a week ago.
Okay.
Right. So that's all. The backdrop I'm gonna give now. I'm gonna play. There's three different sections I want to play. Most of them. The first one is the longest segment, right? But
Okay.
I want to play this. That'll give us like the overall story, and then there's two follow-up stories regarding the case, right? And I wanna play it. I want your reaction to it, right? So I'm gonna pull it up now.
Okay. Let's see.
So another police shooting, right? But this time in DC.
Lord.
Now we're learning more about the armed man who was shot and killed by DC police yesterday morning in Southeast. Police have identified him as 26-year-old Justin Robinson of Southeast DC. Now, Police Chief Pamela Smith said two officers fired at Robinson after he grabbed an officer's weapon. But as Rafael Sanchez-Cruz tells us tonight, this case has a lot of people asking questions. Rafa, what are you learning?
Yeah, Lorenzo, throughout the day, neighbors have been stopping by trying to piece together this incident, but Justin's family has the most questions, and they're telling us they want justice for Justin. So let's walk you through what police say happened. So Police Chief Smith said that the driver first crashed into a wall in the drive-thru of this McDonald's, and that when the officer arrived, he was unresponsive. She also said that officers noticed a gun on his lap. Now, once the Robinson began to gain consciousness, officers told them to drop the gun according to authorities. Chief Smith said our officers extended their guns into the car and that Robinson grabbed one of the officers' weapons, which prompted them to shoot. Now, Robinson's family says they're calling into question the entire response. They tell me that the 26-year-old leaves behind a twin brother and that he was a community activist doing anti-violence work here in Southeast DC. Let's listen.
I don't think he deserved this. And this is why I came up here on my own to see what it was that made these officers shoot this baby like that. Regardless if he hit a wall or hit anything, he didn't deserve to die. And that's the problem now. These officers are steady taking our kids away for no apparent reason. Even if he had a gun, it did not give them the right to shoot and kill him. He did not deserve this.
Yeah, that loved one did not want to be identified. They're telling me that although it might be painful, they want to watch that body-worn camera footage and the surveillance footage that would be obtained from this McDonald's. Now, this incident is under review by DC Police and also by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Under DC law, they have 5 days to release the names of the two officers involved, as well as the footage from the body-worn camera that were on when this incident happened. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll learn more about Robinson and all the work that he's been doing in Southeast DC. I'm live. I'm Rafael Sanchez-Cruz, WUSA 9.
Yeah, and as you mentioned with this DC.
All right. So that's the first part I want to play. Like I said, there's also a second and a third part that we're going to get into, but I want your initial, reaction to what we just heard so far.
Well, my initial reaction is it's always sad when cops are are in situations where they have to use their firearms and they have to take someone's life. That's never a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I mean, not never, but you know what I mean? Like, it just sucks when they have to do that. It doesn't seem like this guy was like a criminal. They weren't responding to like a criminal call or like something like that. So initially it's sad. His family, Justin's family, is clearly grieving, mourning over his death. But it's hard for me to give too much of an opinion because I haven't seen the footage. You know what I mean? So like, I don't want. There's a lot of assumptions that could be made, and I don't feel comfortable making those assumptions.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're gonna see the footage if it's been released yet. But off rip, this just sucks, man. It just sounds really crazy. Like him hitting the wall. He crashed into a McDonald's.
Like how does that happen, bro? How does that happen? Like I don't get how people like. I don't know, bro. Like, it's a non-moving thing. Like, it's a like, I don't know. I don't understand. I guess I don't understand how people crash into poles and buildings and shit. Like, I don't really get that shit. Like,
did they do a toxicology thing? Like, did they say if it had like alcohol poisoning, or was he inebriated? Or was he on some kind of substance? Like, I don't know, bro, because he could have also. we don't know what happened, right? But if he had a gun, was it registered to him? Was it his? Like, was it just a
Right.
random prop? Like, was the gun actually his? If not, who did it belong to? And then, he
Right.
could have woken up if he was on something and then thought maybe the cops were trying to attack him, or if they were strangers. Who knows? Maybe he was hallucinating and maybe he did
Right.
try. You know what I'm saying? There's so much you could put up to just
Yeah.
assumption, and we
Yeah.
don't know. So it just sucks that this happened, bro. It really does. Now, do we get footage or not? Like,
No. That's part of the story, right? So let me play. So the second
Okay.
part I'm gonna play isn't as long as his first part, but
okay,
this is it's important to the story. So let me
okay,
play this
all
part
right,
now.
all right.
New tonight, a vigil for a man shot and killed by D.C. police shut down some streets tonight. 26-year-old Justin Robinson died Sunday. Police say he crashed into a McDonald's on Marion-Barry Avenue in Southeast. Officers say he was unresponsive with a gun in his lap. Police say Robinson woke up and reached for one of the officers' guns. Two officers fired, hitting and killing Robinson. Tonight, his family and friends marched from the McDonald's where he died to the 7th District Police Station.
Tell them to release all of the team. Release it now.
Well, some of Robinson's family members are calling for D.C. police to release body camera footage of that shooting. We saw similar calls during a protest Monday night. But 2 days later, on Wednesday, D.C. police say Robinson's next of kin saw that tape and asked for it not to be released to the public. Now we're learning more about the armed man.
So does this change your perspective on the situation?
Well, now it adds more confusion, right? Because if you have the footage and it was going to be something that was going to basically absolve Justin of any wrongdoing, why would you not want to release that? If you truly want justice, why wouldn't you want the world to see? Now, granted, I understand, like, after a while, I remember when there was like so many police shootings happen back to back to back, and like it felt like everywhere in the news you were just seeing like civilians just being killed and gunned down, and to a point where I was like, yo, I don't feel like seeing this anymore. Like, I'm stressed out. Like, it's weighing heavy on my psyche. Like, maybe was it the brother? Was it the
What
brother
brother?
who was the person who didn't want to get it released? Was it the
They
parents?
said the
Who-
family. They said that
Okay, the family. Okay.
family saw the tape and they said
So
they didn't
I
want
don't
it
know if
released.
it's because what happened is so gruesome or explicit that they don't want to show that. However, if you're demanding justice, I think the world deserves to see that perspective. Those who can stomach it, of course, to really, and maybe you can blur out some of the parts, but like,
Right.
if you want justice, we have to see the body cams. That's what the footage is there for. The fact
Yeah.
that they don't want to release it, that's questionable, bruh.
Right. I was
What
thinking
would-
the same thing, bro.
It was so questionable, bruh.
I
Like,
was thinking the same thing. Like if in these situations, first of all, even if the cop is, I've seen body cam footage where the cop is not in the wrong,
right.
and they still let it be released, and they could be like, oh, okay, well, and people just, they go by identity, right? Some people will hate cops no matter what, right? So they're
Right.
going to be like, you know what? It don't matter what the cop did. The cop couldn't have done anything right. It wasn't possible, right? Like we talked about this before. People see these cop videos and they're like, hey, you know what? This cop, shot and killed this guy, but they should have shot the gun out of his hand. They should have shot the knife out of his hand. That ain't right. So
Right.
in these situations, a lot of these situations, the cops are in a no-win situation because it's like, they're not superheroes, so it's like they can't do the superhero thing and keep the person alive and have them explain
Yeah.
their story. Only thing they can do is what any normal human being can do, but that's never good enough for cops, right? It's like people,
Right.
like regular civilians look at that and say, "Hey, that's not good enough. You're trained. You were training in the mountains
Right.
with the master. You should have shot that gun out this guy's hand." So we've seen actual. You and I have done it on this channel. We've seen actual footage of the cops responding to a potentially life-threatening situation to them, and people in the comments are still like the cop is wrong no matter what.
No matter
right?
what. Right.
But the fact that the family is like, no, we don't want this release, tells me that
Yes.
they know something that we do not know, and they don't want us to know that thing.
Right. Right.
So-
Because if the footage, in my opinion, if the footage would have shown that their son or Justin did nothing wrong
Mm,
and he was completely innocent and he was, in fact, actually just murdered, you know what I'm saying? Then they
Right.
would want to release that. You'd want to release that. You'd send it
Right.
to R. Sharpton. It'd be on everybody's desk. Like, people would be ready to like roam the streets.
and
they said
you
no.
would get a bag. I know it's not
And you would-
about the money.
It's not about the money.
It's not
right.
about the money.
But
I
you
get
would
that,
get a
because
bag.
if this happens to my sons or my daughter, I'm like, okay, cool. I will be distraught. That's not about the money, but I'm
Right.
still going to want some fucking
But
money
you
out
gonna
of
get
this.
a bag, right?
So you'd get the bag, and if the more gruesome or the more wrong the cops are, the bigger the bag.
Right.
The more the cop, like, don't you want the cop to go to jail? The cops were wrong and quote unquote murdering the guy, the family, whoever this family member was. They should face justice.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like, it's, especially if the footage is unaltered. Like, sometimes they say like body cam footage is altered or edited. Like, if it's just the straight cam, the raw cam footage.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's bro, it's super shady that they don't want to release the footage.
Shady. It's shady.
I agree.
Yo.
This is very shady. I think they show that maybe the bull. I don't know. I can't make assumptions, bro, but it's shady.
Wait. But Joe, even and before the end of the news clip, before the guy was like, the news guy was like, yo, the family elected for the body cam finish not to be shown. They were at a visual talking about some release the body cam footage. They were like, yo, release the footage. We need to see.
I saw the sign and they were saying it. Yeah, release the footage. Right.
So y'all get so apparently, from what I'm understanding, is in this process, something crazy like this happens, right? People are like, hey, we need to see body cam footage. The state or the county or whatever entity is has the footage. They go to the family or the next of kin directly, and they hey, you know what? This is your situation. Do you want this to be known? Do you want us to share this with the media? Whatever. Right. And it's their decision. So with the times that we do see the body cam footage, the family's like, yeah.
Right. And it's crazy because they're going to get two perspectives, right? It's the body cam footage and then it's the McDonald's camera. Because remember, they crashed into the McDonald's. So I don't know which one they saw, but there's two perspectives. The camera from McDonald's and the body cam footage. And I'm sure that when I was telling you, when they said he crashed into the wall, I think Bull was probably, maybe he was inebriated. I don't want to make it, I don't want to speak it as fact, but like maybe they saw that he was inebriated. He crashed out into the wall because he was either drunk or under some kind of substance. And when the cops got there, maybe he did we don't know, bro. But I think it vilified their son, and that's why they don't want to show it.
You're right. We don't know the specifics because the family won't let the body cam footage be available. But I think a safe assumption that we can make in this entire situation is that whatever the body cam footage shows, it does not paint him in a favorable light. Is that fair to say?
Yes, I think that would be fair to say. I think so. Yeah, that's just, these are just opinions, family. Like, we're just but. Let us know what y'all think when y'all see this. Like, do y'all don't think this is shady?
Because let me say, because if he was just chilling, if he crashed into the McDonald's, right, and when the cops come, he's chilling reading Dr. Seuss Green Eggs and Ham, and they just come up on him, wop, let off both clips. That's light work right there.
He was reading scriptures.
Right. That's light work. That's the easiest. That's the easiest cut. Them cops should be in jail right now in federal prison.
Right. No, for real. Or if the footage heavily contradicts what the officer said, that would be problematic too. You know what I mean? Like, if they were like, this don't look nothing like the account you guys gave or the report, But clearly, I don't think it paints Bull in the best light. And I'm rest in peace, bruh. But
if it made the cops look bad, it would be out on the streets right now.
I think so. Yeah, because they can't release it without the consent of the family.
Right.
I think so. I don't think they can release it.
That's what they said in the thing. They were like, the family said no.
Right. The family said no. So if they're not suing, they don't have a case going up in the air. There's no reason to release it to the public. So this is interesting. Is there another part to this, or?
I mean, it was just kind of just like further illustrating the point that the family didn't want it. So I don't think we need that.
No, you're good. Yeah. So listen, I think that we should stay up on this story because this is definitely one of those interesting cases where you're like, wait a minute, what, bro? Like, y'all in the streets crying about justice, but y'all got the footage and don't want to release it. Right. What did y'all see? You know what I mean? And in situations like this, let's say hypothetically, the cops were in the right to do what they had to do out of protection for their lives because maybe the bull did. Right. If that's the case, is the family going to come out and apologize?
Oh, hell no.
Because it's one thing to come out there and demand justice for your child, but it's another to come out and be like, we're sorry, we were rash or impulsive, we were upset, but the cops were not in the wrong, and we'd like to apologize to the District of D.C.
Oh, hell no.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not happening.
Like, that would also require you to take accountability and also own up to the fact that y'all lied and got people rallied behind. Not lied, but but you guys got people riled up unnecessarily and unjustly so. So you got to stay up on this story, bro.
Right. I'm actually dispute you with the staying up on the story thing. I think this story is over.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're the family and you don't want the footage out, what more can anybody, like, what more can someone say to, advocate on your behalf? Let's say Ben Crump, the famous civil rights attorney that always comes around, when it's issues like this. Yeah. What more can he say
Right.
Like, bro, like it's a done deal because you are
Yeah.
specifically saying, based off what you saw on the body cam footage, that you don't want that footage released. I think it's over. I think the story's over. I think the family goes into nothingness, and I mean, and just lives their lives, go to work the next day.
Right.
They you know, maybe where he passed away, maybe put down some candles and a picture and a vigil, and that's it. Like I think this is done, bro.
Right. I think so too, man. If the footage, criminalizes their son, there's not going to be a case because the cops are doing their job and doing what they had to do. There's no lawsuit, there's no case, there's no foul play. It's just the law taking its course. They can't even settle because there's no suit to be held.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't even settle outside. There's nothing legal that can happen.
Right.
So,
because you can't say, hey, give us justice in this situation. But it's like, oh, okay, let's see the video. You're like, nah. But still give us justice.
Yeah.
That don't work.
Nah, yeah. I think you're right. It might be over, but I'm curious to see like if there's if the news reports about this in a couple weeks and like we get an update because I would love to hear an update from either side, like what happened, So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe we should open it up to the family and see what they think about this because this was interesting.
Yeah. All right, yo, let us know what y'all think. I'm sure we're still gonna have people in the comments because every time we do these cop jokes, there's people like,
I know.
Basically, there's certain people that are just like F the police no matter what, bro.
No matter
like
what,
they could be, man. Listen, the cop could be sleeping in his bed. Chucky could come and take him out. He not even got his uniform on. He land with his wife. They'd be like, well, F the police. So it's like, listen. So I'm interested to see if this starts a conversation, though.
Me too. Yeah.
All right, fam. Let us know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, and we on the move. Thanks for the support, guys.
Until next time.
Until next time.